Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where I was planning on coming back when our burn time hit 1 minute, but we actually finished this contract. I think? Yes, we finished this contract. Fantastic. It's showing up, but it is done. So this satellite is now finished. I'm going to finish out this burn. Also, I wanted to say, version 1.10 of KSP is out. We are not on version 1.10. I'm going to be finishing out this playthrough on version 1.9.1. And any future playthroughs will take place on the then current patch. But I've tried upgrading in the middle. It causes issues. We're not going to go there. So we'll just finish off this burn in, pretty much right now, honestly. Honestly, this is close enough. So that's great. Now, I do want to do this Explore Kerbal mission, and that is something that we can do pretty quickly. But I do want to check on timings really fast. So let's hop into the tracking station here. And I just want to see 59 days on the Griffin 3L, 164 days on the auxiliary module. Okay, so we have time. That's good to know. We will leave this facility then and check in on mission control. A new orbital station around Minmus. No, we're not going to do that. We've already got one. Okay. So I think we need to set up a rendezvous then, and honestly this is going to be kind of just a throwaway sort of thing, where we'll maybe rendezvous with this Raven 0X? Something like that? Yeah, that should be fine. So, we'll rendezvous something there, and maybe, I don't know, maybe this is a repair mission or something. Who do we have available for crew? I did not mean to switch editor. There we go. All we've got available is Orbis, an engineer. That's fine. We can work with this. So, here's what we're going to do. We are going to open up, say... Are we going to make a new one? We might. In that case, we'll just open up the SLS. And I don't think... Oh, we'll have a decoupler here. We'll have a 2.5 meter heat shield. This is just going to be a return module, honestly. So, literally all it's going to be is we're going to have a remote guidance unit here. It's going to be kind of small, but it should, in theory, be fine. And then behind that, we will simply have a super light pod, like an onion re-entry module. There we go. And then we'll need some form of power. So actually, we're going to put on a 1K battery pack that we will recover. And then we'll need a little bit of recovery on this. So we'll do, say, a Mark 16 parachute and a pair of drogue chutes. That should be plenty to bring this back. And we'll just mount those drogue chutes about there. I mean, this is kind of silly looking, and this is massive, massive overkill. Like, I'm thinking, do we even need the side boosters to lift this? And we're going to save this as the service module, I guess. So obviously this is incorrect in the staging. What's our thrust to weight here? 0.67. Okay, so we do need some sort of heavy lifter, or rather some sort of side booster. So we'll just design ourselves a quick one. I do want to use these radial decouplers, and we're probably going to utilize some kind of smaller, like maybe we go back to the Pollux boosters. And we do that, and move this right on down kind of like this. So these guys would go in here, this would then come up here. 1.48 is this thrust to weight, and then 0.84 here. That's a little on the low side. We could theoretically upgrade these from swivels. Like, what if instead of using 4 swivels, like we have right now, we instead used a singular mainsail? That might work for this. So that would mean ditching this engine plate, at least for now, and then slotting in a mainsail, like that. So that's worse thrust to weight here. Oh wait, actually we need to do that. That would do the trick. Okay, so I would like to mount these a little bit lower, something like this. We'll get rid of this for right now. Excellent. We'll put in a little bit of aerodynamics here. That's going to be too small of a nose cone. That is too large of a nose cone. That's way too large of a nose cone. That's more like it. Excellent. We'll need some stability on this, of course, so we will put in some struts on the top and bottom. There are already some struts on the bottom, but we'll just put in a couple on the top. Like so. Excellent. And then we'll just use these existing struts on the bottom. Fantastic. Now this should be more than capable of getting us to where we want to go, but we need to double check the rest of our staging. This is obviously incorrect. Okay. That is much more like it. Okay, and then we want to fire our drogue chutes, followed by our main chute, which we want to do in a new stage. There we go. And that should do the trick. Thrust to weights look good. Yeah, thrust to weights look very good. Fantastic. So let's save and launch. Before we launch, I want to do a couple of things. I want to set this guy as our target. What is the altitude here? About 4 million. It's pretty high up, but we should be able to manage that. That is definitely a very, very high apoapsis. We're almost in the launch window here. So let's go ahead and take this. I have no idea what our stability looks like. So this is a simulated launch. And off we go. I really should have looked at our aerodynamic stability, but I did not. But honestly, we're gonna kind of just go straight up for a good long time. We need a really high apoapsis after all. So up we go. We're gonna ditch these SRBs in about 40 seconds. We're not doing any pitching right now. I just realized we don't have electricity generation on this other than our alternator. For now, that's fine. But it's not going to be fine later. Good thing this was a simulated flight. Why do I keep forgetting to put solar panels on? I have no idea. I have no explanation for this. I mean, all we need is a couple of smallish solar panels, like this. That's literally it. And we don't need these struts. Get rid of those. Excellent. As long as we're here, let's check that aerodynamic. Yeah, that would have been a problem. So we will simply place some aerodynamics out here. Actually, let's do something like this and something like this. that became exciting. Not sure why it decided to do that. Yeah, this is what I wanted it to do. Excellent. So now that should be fine. We've got the aerodynamics, we've got the electricity generation, we shouldn't have any issues. So, we are going to set our target. SAS, throttle up. We don't actually have to dock, but off we go. And honestly, we're going for such a high apoapsis that we may not actually begin our turn until we're out of the atmosphere. Like, our apoapsis anyway. Currently, I don't think there's a huge amount of reason to begin a turn. Not just yet, anyway. But this should have absolutely no problems. Our SRBs are going to be falling off in about 25 seconds. Our apoapsis is currently 40 kilometers. So that is ideal. Note that we're going just straight up right now. We're going to start beginning our turn now. SRBs? Gone. Excellent. Our apoapsis is just careening up right now, which is exactly what we want. And we're just going to head over to the horizon. I have no idea how close we're going to be to this. But that'll be interesting to find out. So we're just kind of going for a circular eyes right now. I realize we're going to be way underneath the apoapsis, but that's fine. Our main stage is burned out. And off we go. We should, in theory, have plenty of DV to make this happen. We've still got another 4 kilometers per second in the tank. And our apoapsis is currently rising. We're aiming right now for about an apoapsis of 1 million kilometers, I think. Or not 1 million kilometers, 1 million meters. So we'll be there pretty quickly. Of course, we have to get to like 4 million to actually get this rendezvous. That's okay. Okay. There we go. Now the question is, if we continue to push this, where would we actually get to in terms of how close we would be to this thing? I mean, it's pushing out that way. I'd kind of like to bring it over this way a little. I feel like we're going up too much this way. I guess we'll see where our actual rendezvous is here. Hey, we actually have a periapsis above the ground. Yeah, that's pretty much what I expected. So let's see if we can jiggle that around something kind of like... That's a lot. We'd have to throw in some retrograde on this, of course. Yeah, this is not fuel efficient, but it's fine. We don't actually care right now. So it would end up being something like this. That's a separation of 55 kilometers. See if we can't get that any closer. We'll have to bring it back this way and over this way. Okay, looks like 50 kilometers is about the closest we're gonna get. That's fine. We can work with that. So let's get turned over to this node. We're already late on it. Actually, we may as well just burn target, right? Kind of feel like we may as well just burn target. Since it's super duper close. So we will just burn towards the target for a little ways here. This should be reasonably fine. We are, of course, going to have to match planes. Okay. It's actually pushing further apart. So let's just try taking it down over this way where the maneuver node was. Well, that was working until it moved us right back to the target node because I was kind of dumb. Okay, we'll just burn something like this. Excellent. And now a little bit more like this. Now towards target. That should get us quasi-close. Yeah, quasi-close for sure. It's about 1,000 kilometers apart. We will head to radial in. Or actually, radial out is where we will head. And we'll just push this over this way a little bit. That's getting there. Close enough. Okay, now we hope that we have enough to match planes and come back. It'd be awkward if we didn't. We could always have our Kerbal get out and push if we had to. Wouldn't be the end of the world. Okay, I want to warp us about here. Excellent. We want to be on target retrograde right now. This is definitely going to be tight on the DV. Because I took this inefficient approach. In fact, we may not have enough DV to get back, but that's okay. Like I said, we can always get out and push. So I'm going to warp a little further here. I wonder if this is going to be... No, it specifically says in the contract that we need to kill their relative velocity. So I was going to say, I wonder if this is close enough. So we're going to want to warp to about here. Where is it? Let's see here. That's the moon, I believe. Yeah, that's Kerbal. Okay, we'll warp to about right here. There it is. Okay. Let's kill this relative velocity. Something like this. Still another 200 meters per second to go here. I'm definitely concerned about our TV. I don't think this is close enough to count as visual range. Okay. We'll go ahead and burn towards target now. We'll physics warp that turn. And we are going to burn in at just around 10 meters per second. We don't actually need to dock up, so I'm just trying to keep our DV costs relatively low. Flip around to target retrograde so that we can kill that. I really don't think that we have enough DV to get back here. I mean, we can check. Most efficient time will be at the apoapsis. It's close. But not quite. Okay. Well, we can always get out and push. It's not a big deal. Oh, we're in physics warp right now. We will warp a little bit closer here. Okay. Is this within visual range? I don't know. What is our actual separation? 3.4 kilometers? We'll go ahead and warp to here. Okay, this is certainly within visual range. I think. 5 kilometers. We can warp a little closer. Just going to keep going until it's within this band. We'll kill this relative velocity. Okay. I think we have to get a little closer. So we'll just go in a little bit closer. Going in at 5 meters per second. We'll flip it right on around. And we will just warp in. Okay. Apparently that counted. Fantastic. Now, how can we go about getting home? Well, at the apoapsis here, we're going to want to burn as retrograde as we can. Which is going to be something kind of like that. We get most of the way there with what fuel we have remaining. It's going to be a bit of a wacky re-entry, but we've got a big ol' heat shield on this thing, so it should, in theory, be fine. I'd want to target around 20 kilometers. Not that I think we're going to have that fine-grained of control. So we want to do something kind of like this. And we're just going to warp to this next maneuver. We'll get aligned first. And we'll get as far as we can without getting out and pushing. Which is going to be most of the way. We're just going to need about 50 more meters per second. Okay, this is a burn time of 10 seconds, so we want to burn this at T-minus 5 seconds. Of course, we can't quite do it all the way. So we are just going to burn this off in about 5 seconds here. And we'll get what we can done. Yeah, not quite there. That's fine. Gonna quick save here. And we'll detach that. So this is what we're re-entering with. Somehow I did this without noticing that we don't have any crew. I guess we'll just say that that was a loss, and the entire point of that launch was to complete that contract. It was still worthwhile. We made money off of it, so I guess we'll just untrack it. There's nothing aboard it, nothing to be done. So we'll get rid of the service module debris, and we'll get rid of the service module ship. We could have brought that home if I had had a Kerbal in there, but somehow I didn't notice. I don't know how. He just never got in. He's still here, right? We didn't somehow put him in the fuel tank? Yeah, he's still here. Okay, fantastic. Well, we got that contract done, so I guess that it's fine. Like I said, we still made money off of it, and plenty of it. So, in that case, I think I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in here, and next episode, we are probably going to warp towards the Griffin 3L's burn. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.